Then he quit playing.
Yo, you already know what it is. You're listening to The Urban Product. It's your boy DME.
It's your boy Cozy Rich.
And it's your girl Imani.
And we got a special guest in the studio with us today. We got Joey Free. Everybody make some noise from him. Facts. Make some noise for him. Nah, make some noise for him.
That's going to be a round of applause.
Fine, if you want the round of applause, I'll give you the round of applause.
Hey,
I like
that's nice.
I'm like
That's
a Power
nice.
Ranger. I come up with explosions. You feel me? That's how it's scene. You feel me? But Joey, how you doing today?
Dude, I am fantastic. Thank you for having me, all you guys. It's pretty sweet to be here, especially after having the piece up and everything. It's
Facts.
pretty dope.
Let's get a wide shot real quick so everyone can appreciate one more time what this man created for us.
Yeah, facts. You should open up the show with that. So the piece that you see behind us, you know, that has all of our faces on it, the Urban Product, just this wonderful piece of art. You are looking and listening to the wonderful artist that created it for us.
Hey.
So I remember this was back I think it was right before COVID.
Yeah,
Right before COVID.
Oh, yeah.
I would say February. Right before, yo.
This shit was crazy.
Yeah.
So one of my boys, I was looking for a piece for the show, and I was looking for a local artist to do the piece, obviously, because everything that involves the show, I just make it local.
Locally outsourced.
Exactly. So one of my boys, who's an artist, I hit him up, and he sent me a list of people who I should check out. And I checked out a lot of people's pages. Then I got to Joey's page, and I checked out his art, and I saw some of the portraits that he did of people, and I was like, oh, this is dope, and I like the colors, and I like the designs of all of it. So I hit him up, slid in the DM, you feel me, real professional like, and told him what I was thinking about. And yeah, after some time, he sent us a mock-up of what he was thinking of. We bounced ideas off of each other, and then lo and behold, this was the product of it. I love it. I was amazed of it. Every time he sent me update pics of it, I was like, oh shit. And then to see the final piece in person was even better, because obviously you look at things through pictures and like, yeah, it could be amazing, but once you see the, final product in person,
you don't really get to appreciate how great something is until you get to experience it firsthand.
Facts.
And when we both pulled up to his stew and seen this painting just hanging on the wall, our jaws dropped, to be honest with you. I was just like, oh my God. I was so happy.
Yeah.
Money well spent. No
exactly. Because I remember Joey hasn't met like all three of us before painting it, so he was just going off pictures. And when I saw the final piece and what he got from the picture and what he put on there, I was like, oh shit, like that's it. Like what? Like that picture? Everybody knows what that picture is, because that was my profile photo for a good year. So everybody knows what that picture is. But yeah, it's just real dope. It's real dope, man. And I'm just happy that we're here. Had to have him on the show because we just got to have a big talk. And yeah, here we are.
Yeah, thank you for shout out Conflict too. Your buddy who put that together. That was like really huge. Anytime an artist reaches out with a project, especially times are volatile, you don't know what's gonna happen. COVID happened, what I'm saying? And it's like to have something like that that's still, on the docket and ready to be done, is like, it's a lifesaver, man. And it was just a great opportunity, so I really appreciate it.
Yeah, we appreciate having you, man. But before we get into it, because I asked Joey how he is. How are y'all? I didn't forget about y'all. How are y'all?
Living my best life per usual.
Same answer.
I'm good.
Every
Never
single
know when he's sad.
Legitimate. That's been the same answer every single episode.
Since he joined, I'm him all the way since 21.
Gotta keep it consistent.
Living his life per usual for 100 episodes.
My day was good. Enjoyed the weather. I'm trying to catch up with some schoolwork, but it was good. Not too bad.
How was school? School good?
School's different.
I feel that. See, that's why I'm not doing that shit. That's why I'm not doing that shit right now. But I feel that. But yes, welcome. So before we get like deep into the show, I just want you to give our listeners, a little background of yourself. I know a little bit about you, but obviously you can just come from your mouth. So yeah, let them know about Joey Free real quick.
Okay, so what's up, everybody? I am 31 years old. I am from Pembroke, Mass.
Hey.
So 40 minutes south of the city, pretty much. I've been living in the city now for about 10 years. I've been doing art kind of like my whole life, doing like visual art, drawing, and things like that. I started like rapping and making beats about 10 years ago, so that's always, I mean, anything artistic has always been just like me. It's what I'm all about, kind of. So I grew up on the South Shore, did a little bit of time over in Arizona. I like went to college at Suffolk for a year, then went to ASU for a year. Didn't really know what I wanted to do, so I stopped going to school, and at the time I was just making beats and trying to figure things out. Came home, and then my dad got me a job as a super in the city, so I started doing that, and then really started to pursue my art probably about 5 or 6 years ago, and taking it seriously as a career move. So then, ever since then, I've just been going really ham on painting, doing as much painting as I possibly can, always writing a lot of poetry and hip-hop and things like that, and just really trying to make it work, and then at the same time balance, normal life, having like a real job and paying bills and things like that, juggling those two things. And the more and more I've kind of pursued it, the deeper in the Boston art scene I've gotten, and which is really beautiful how big and vast the Boston art scene really is, from painters to hip hop artists to photographers, everything, So it's been a lot of fun. It's been a pretty crazy ride. I've learned a lot. I've had a lot of high points, low points. Making a career out of art, there's really no kind of rule book or conventional way to go about it. You know what I mean? So that you gotta, kind of deal with the learning curve yourself, and learn from other artists around you, and learn from the the ones that are really successful doing it, and all the different ways that you can do it. So, but yeah, it's just a kind of a little bit about me.
Was there anything in particular? Because I know you said you went from coming back from school and then going to be a super, and then just going into your art career. Like, what happened that made you just like want to focus on art in the middle of all that?
So I was working at the Mandarin, serving at a restaurant. I was serving food. It was pretty cool. I was making a lot of money. It was really good, but I kind of hated it.
I feel that. That's me right now.
Yeah,
I feel that.
It's tough. It's tough. So me and one of my best friends, we went to Hawaii for a month. We were like, fuck it, let's just go to Hawaii. Let's do this kind of journey we wanted to do. We went for a month. We did this thing called woofing, where you like live on a farm in exchange for a place to stay. So you work a few days on the farm.
Oh, okay, I've heard of it.
This changed my life. I don't know. We went to this farm. It was in Hawaii. There was 60 different fruits that grew on the farm. And we just had this experience. And every day, so we're living in a cabin in the jungle, probably 20, 30 miles away from anywhere that you would go to a store,
Civilization.
Yeah, totally just in the jungle. It was fire. And to get to that little town, you had to hitchhike. 20, 30 miles. So it's not
God damn.
That
shit sound wild.
It sounds crazy, but you get good at it and you get used to it. You know what I mean? You make eye contact with people and they stop, and it's a little weird, but you do it, and it's an experience. But anyways, every day, I brought my paint markers, and I would every day I would paint, because what else am I gonna do? I don't know. It's just what I was drawn to do. And towards the end of it, I remember I turned 27 on the 27th, because my birthday is May 27th. Yeah. We were out there. I turned 27. I painted a couple of skateboards out there, and I had this click in my head that was yo, I need to be doing this as a career. I am foolish not to be. It's stupid for me not to attempt this. Okay. So came back. I left 3 days after that. Came back to Boston. I quit my job, cashed out my 401k, and I was I'm gonna go for it. You know what I mean? I'm gonna try and do art full time and just see what happens.
And it worked out. And
it's funny. It worked out for a bit. I ran out of money and eventually had to get another job. You know what I mean? Because I don't know. It's difficult to just make that full tilt switch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that experience in doing that, I had a show, and the first show I had, it was I was just really successful. Sold a lot of pieces, a ton more than I expected, and I definitely had this kind of this the surge of success that was like, to me, the universe being like, yeah, it's possible, you can do it. So I had that, and when I went back to get another job, it was like more like whatever job I got was a supplement and a side hustle. It wasn't numero uno, it wasn't like my main thing. So that's when things really switched. And it was,
I respect that.
That's dope.
That's wild.
Sweet.
Do you have any like mentors, or is there anybody right now that you're mentoring actually, like in the art world?
So I have a mentor right now. I take classes once a week from this guy. He's a local artist. He's phenomenal. Actually, his name's Brian Life. I'll just go ahead and shout him out. Check him out. He's a local graffiti legend. Just a really great artist all around. Just good guy. And so, yeah, I've been learning a lot from him. And in terms of mentoring other people, I mean, I have like a couple of friends that are close to me. Like I have one buddy who's really trying to take up art and really do it really well. And so I've just been sharing different nuggets and stuff that I've learned over the years with him. I don't have any particular younger mentors except, well, actually, no, I shouldn't say that. I do Big Brother, Big Sister.
That's
Okay.
That's dope.
So I got a little bro. His name's Jarrell.
That's dope.
And he's the shit. Like, I love this guy. He's just the man. And he's really mature for his age. He's 11 now.
Wow.
We met when he was 7.
Wow.
And so, like, I've taken him to the studio, try to, like, teach him some spray painting and, like, teach him some drawing. And I just started taking him to piano classes because he's kind of got some interest in the piano.
Okay.
So we've been doing that, and that's been pretty cool. But besides that, no other, like, official mentor. But I'm starting tomorrow is going to be my first, I'm teaching 9 first graders in art class. So that'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Where at?
The youth are great. Down in Hanover.
Okay, that was dope.
Yeah.
That's dope. That's dope. So, I remember you opened up saying that the Boston art scene was like very vast, and there's like artists of all different types. Do you feel like the art scene is well represented and well respected just within the state of Massachusetts? I won't even say in the city of Boston, but just the state of Massachusetts itself. Because like you said, I know a lot of people in the scene as well. I know like so many talented people in the scene, and obviously, the viewers know my mission with this show is just to amplify all the voices and artists that we got in the city. But in order for that to happen, the city got to budge back too. So I'm just wondering, I know what it's like in the music scene, I know what it's like in other scenes, but in the art scene, I'm trying to know what it's like there too.
It's hard to say. Like the first thing I'm thinking about that just comes to mind when you say that is I'm thinking of Boston Calling, right? Like just Boston Calling, this giant show that happens every year, and I would expect, I think anyone would expect to see a lot of Boston artists on the bill.
And they never do.
Saying that. I've been saying that every time.
Do,
like, it's Boston Calling, but none of these artists are from Boston.
Nah, and that's what I just want to give a shout out to Cliff Notes. I don't really know him that well. I met him only a few times, but he did that whole Boston answering thing. You guys hear about that?
I did not.
So
I'm mad that I haven't.
He was pretty upset, and a lot of these guys are pretty upset, deservedly so, that there's no Boston artists on the bill. Like, what the fuck is that about? So he did a show called Boston Answering, which is basically like basically that was the point of the show, to show people like, yo, what the fuck, we're gonna do our own show because y'all ain't hip. So he did that show. From what I heard, it was a fantastic success. Like, they had a lot of people. This past year, Boston Calling got canceled, but Cliff Notes was on the bill, yo. He got on the bill to be on it.
Okay.
Let's go.
I had tickets to that show, obviously COVID and shit, but whatever. But so to answer your question though, no, I don't feel like Massachusetts has really gets the representation that I think that it deserves. I think there's a lot of fantastic artists that we have, and a lot of them, like visual artists in particular, get up all over Massachusetts. They get up even Vermont, New Hampshire, New England proper, Salem, Lynn. I mean, we're all over the place. But in terms of like even nationwide recognition or countrywide recognition, or even recognition within Massachusetts to the point where people that live in Massachusetts know these names and know these people, because I don't know how it is for you guys, but for me, before I got into the scene myself, I didn't know anyone's name. I didn't know any of these people. I didn't know any of these hip hop artists, these R&B artists. I didn't know any of these painters. I know none of their names, and I never would have known them if I didn't go into the scene myself.
Oh.
That's so sad.
I feel that. I feel like me personally, you're probably the only artist I'm really aware of as it pertains to like the music scene. I know a lot of people just because I have friends in that, but that's a good comment. But I wanted to ask you this because you didn't mention COVID. How has COVID been treating you during this? Because I know it's affected everyone differently, and you being in the art scene, like I want to know how that's really just affected you.
Yeah, it's been a trip, man. I mean, for everybody. I mean, for me personally, like before COVID, I was doing a lot of pop-up shows. There was just a lot of action. You know, there was a lot going on. Once a week, maybe a show would pop up or something like that. So all of that totally went to a halt. You know, and then there's the flip flop. Like any artist, you might we all deal with things differently. You know what I mean? So something like this might happen, and you get a surge of inspiration and like want to create, and then sometimes this whole thing could happen, and you could get like the opposite, where you get kind of like mental block, and you don't know how to handle it. So for me, I did have a lot of inspiration because I had a lot of time, and kind of like when things kind of broke down and I wasn't able to work anymore, it was a little scary at first, but then when things cleared up, like, you know, like checks started coming in and like unemployment was a possibility, and so it was like, oh well, I got all this time, so let me just dive deep. So actually COVID was great. You know, COVID was great in a way for me just to start creating a lot more and just kind of get in the studio. But then at the same time, you know, obviously you're just trying to navigate how to deal with people in social situations, how to treat life now after this happened, you know.
Adjust.
Oh, yeah.
I get that.
So
yeah. My question to you was, how did you... I love this portrait. How did you
thank you.
get into your style? Because I know every artist has their own, you know, what's the word? Unique or preferred method of art. So what is yours?
Right.
And how'd you get into it?
Right. Well, abstract is definitely my thing. Like the shapes and the colors. That's kind of like my freedom zone, you know, where I get to just express that vibrancy, and that kind of really came out of Hawaii. I think was just all the vibrant colors and kind of like this explosion of expression that's been dying to come out for a long time. With the portraits, I always get really self-conscious about them, you know, because I want it to be perfect, and I have a different kind of way of doing it, the way I shade and do my kind of a gradient type of fill-in. But yeah, I mean, the abstract free stuff definitely came from Hawaii and came from just like this innate kind of like urge to want to like mess with colors and mess with shapes and just, you know, kind of play with them just to have fun. And then the portraits and stuff, I started, me and my buddy would go to a ton of hip hop shows, and I would be like, oh, like what can I do for the artist, you know? So I would do a little portrait every time I go to a hip hop show, and I'd try and like give it to him, you know. Dope. And then so that was what got me into portraits, and then just trying to perfect that and get better with it, and still trying to perfect that and get better with it.
Yeah, and it's dope because when we were talking about this piece, I only gave him a couple notes. Like, because he pretty much asked me what was I looking for, what did I want, and
to look good.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I mean, if I didn't think it was gonna come out like that, I just wouldn't have hit him up at all. You feel me? But I was just like, I gave him what I was thinking about, so I was like, yeah, we're called the Urban Product, so I want our faces to be on there. I want some resemblance of the city to be on there. And then I just want, you know, other aspects of hip hop included in it. So nailed it with the graffiti.
You really just freaked it, huh?
Yes, and that's all that I said, and he did everything else. Nailed it with the graffiti. Nailed it with got the record player, got the mic in the corner, the DJ tables. I love the cityscape going along the hill. Like I love that, and like obviously. People listening have no idea what we're talking about, but the people viewing, if you were in the studio and you like were able to look at it very close up, there's certain parts of it that lets you know it's the Boston skyline. So that's really dope as well. And that's what I love about it. So yeah, I like to give people, creative control when they're doing it. I was like, yo, I came to you because I fucked with your vision. I don't want to tell you what to do. I just want to give you a couple of ideas and then just see what you're able to come up with. Because creative control, you're going to get the best product out of that. You feel me? And we were able to join up and create this. It's beautiful.
Preach.
You hooked it up with the skyline too, how we were gonna fit it in.
Yeah.
That was cool. Like I like that kind of working together to kind of achieve one thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. It's dope. It's dope.
Cool.
But bouncing off of what Rich said earlier when he was talking about COVID, I know me personally and a lot of other people can attest to this. In the beginning of COVID, like you said, it was a very scary time. And if you were creative and whatever your field was, if that's what you were bringing in as revenue, it was a scary time because you just didn't know what was going to go on with the world. You feel me? But you did say COVID did help you become more creative with the time that it gave you, so you were able to work on a bunch of projects. But before you got there, I knew there was probably a creative block and probably just, maybe a little bit of depression because nobody knew what anything was going on. But I want to know, how were you able to bounce back from that? Because there's probably a lot of listeners who, when this happened, complete creative shutdown, creative block, had no idea what to do because the world just wasn't moving. But because you were able to bounce back from that, I just want to know any helpful tips that you had to get to that point.
Right. Sure. Yeah. I mean, I would say to bounce back, sometimes we all, like you said, we all go into like a loop of depression. Like, I know, like, COVID was all sweet and everything was great and I was creating just fine, but then like when the George Floyd thing happened, like I like didn't know, I didn't have anything to say, I didn't have anything to create. I didn't like, I was just really like, I was kind of going down and bouncing back from that, like I had to really wrap my head around like, how can I use what I'm doing to have an impact and a purpose. So for me, like the bounce back was more like finding a purpose and using that purpose to breathe life into my work again. Like obviously everything that's going on right now in terms of the social breakdown and the injustices and everything in that whole arena has really, it's really disheartening to see. And then, but at the same time, using that, fusing it into the work really allows like a whole new life, and a whole new vision. I just started doing a series of Black Lives Matter signs.
Word.
But with different flags in the background. And this guy reached out to me from Uganda, and I've been talking to him pretty much every day for the past like 2 months, and he runs an orphanage over there in Uganda. So
shout out to Uganda.
Shout out to Uganda for sure. His name is Bunyagaza Isaac, and he's a really great dude, and he has about 30 kids down there that he's trying to take care of. And so I basically figured that I can use doing these signs and then taking all of the proceeds from those signs and just giving it to that orphanage in Uganda. And that way, now it's like when I'm thinking about creating, it's like I have this whole new frequency and energy that really gets me excited to work on what I'm working on.
Similar to like finding new purpose.
Exactly. Using a purpose to get you out of whatever slump that you might be in. You know what I mean? So
I respect that. Okay. Right. So that was COVID. I mean, things are opened up right now. Lord knows what's going on. Months coming up, election, flu season, all that. But I want to know what's going on with you. I mean, we're moving into October tomorrow, or in 2 days. So, like, what's going on? What do you have cooking up for the end of the year, going into 2021?
He's excited.
Yeah, what kind of projects you got?
He's been holding his bag for a couple months.
Yeah, so right now the big thing that is on my plate right now is the orphanage. I mean, I'm working on doing like many of these different flags behind these signs. Me and a couple of buddies of mine, we're working on doing a fundraiser, setting up a fundraiser where we could have something like a kind of like a you know how they do those like infused dinners, but not like an infused dinner.
I know exactly
it would
what
be,
you're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah,
but it wouldn't be like a dinner. It'd be more like a
banquet kind of thing.
yeah, something
Yeah.
like
That's so
that,
good.
where you would pay a price and like all the proceeds would go to the
Raffle.
orphanage.
That's
There'd be
dope.
raffles. There'd be a lot of art, a lot of giveaways and things like that.
Smart.
So that's something that we're looking at to come up soon right now. I got this Black Panther painting that's in the mix that's about to be finished, so I'm excited to finish that
It's
up.
gonna make me cry.
I know.
Rest in peace to Chadwick.
sure.
For sure.
For
Chadwick
sure.
Boseman. And other than that, you know, I've been learning a little bit of construction from my dad and kind of working a whole nother avenue with a career in construction. So that's been an interesting turn, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, yeah, just I don't have anything planned too far ahead, you know. But just kind of working on these things that I'm working on now. I have been one of my COVID hobbies or COVID interests that I've been learning is guitar.
Nice.
So I've been practicing for a few months and trying to infuse that into my performance to music, into poetry, into hip hop. So that's something that's been really exciting for me. That's starting to bubble, you know.
Yeah.
Is that like your own like songs that you're doing, or are you doing like songs that are actually out? Or are you practicing with
Covers.
So, well, I've been learning covers. Like I can do a couple of Bob Marley jams. You
That's
know, I
dope.
can do a Jack Johnson jam or two, some Dispatch. But I'm really trying to create my own rhythms, my own melodies. I got a loop pedal, so now I can sit there and do a loop, do a quick loop, and then try and solo over it a little bit, and then throw some rhymes on it, something like that. So
About to be his
Okay.
own producer, performer.
yeah, something like that.
Engineer.
Nah, see, what I like
Something
about
like
what you're
that.
doing is like you're good at something, right? But you didn't choose to just stick at that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You're stepping into other avenues and platforms that kind of just mesh well together as well. And it sounded like to me that, you know, you're on your way to being a really big and dope visual artist, you know, not just painting, not just graffitiing, but if you're incorporating like poetry and music into your work as well, then yeah, we're just, you know, then it'll turn into performing art, like performance art. Yeah. Then it turns into that, you feel me? So it's really dope finding new ways to express yourself.
Reinventing. Reinventing yourself.
Yeah, facts, you feel me? Upgrading yourself. We love that. There was something else that I wanted to ask as well. Yes. The upcoming projects. I know one of the... Remember that thing that you did on Seaport? Like that art piece. Can you talk about that real quick? Because I like that, but I think the listeners would like hearing about that too.
Yeah, absolutely. I got a great gig down in Seaport to do a really large mural. It was like 80 feet by, I think, 5 feet. It's a lot bigger than I expected, than I anticipated, but it was really cool. I was allowed to basically have creative freedom, so I could do whatever I wanted, which was great because I really just wanted to do something that could cover it, you know, in a reasonable amount of time, but still express that kind of flavor. So I went with kind of my unique style, just doing the shapes and, you know, the colors and things like that, just to give a splash of life to the Seaport, which is cool. And then at the end of it, I was talking with my girlfriend, and she was like, you know, you should really do something else, add a little bit more of a message to it, you know what I mean? And that's where the words came in. And the words, usually I do, like I've done a lot of pieces before where I'll just focus on a bunch of positive words. I used to do portraits where I would do the portrait, and then in the background it would just be like tons of tiny little positive words in there. So I was like, yeah, that's going to be perfect. And then we came up with peace, love, equality, justice, freedom, integrity. There's another one I think in there I might be missing. But yeah, basically all of those words. And it's now, it's like anytime I drive by or I go by, I'm like, damn, like this thing actually is pretty huge.
Yeah,
because it's a really sweet.
Because each word was its own piece, right?
Each word was its own piece. That's the other thing. So the owners of Pastoral, which is like a pizza kitchen restaurant, they're a really nice pizza. He's the one who reached out to me through actually a friend that worked at the bar. She isn't working there anymore, so shout out to Lauren. She put it all together. And he was this is what he wanted. So he was saying basically what he's going to do with each piece is take each piece individually once the patio is done, hang them up inside the restaurant, and then auction them off, and then all of the proceeds are going to go towards the restaurant industry since they've taken a pretty big hit during COVID, like most of us. So it's cool. It ended up being a project where I could do something of my own vision, and then at the same time, it's going to give back to the community, which is cool. So,
hit me with camera 3 real quick. So I don't have. Obviously, while you're reviewing this, you'll see pictures of Joey's art throughout the episode. But if y'all can peep these dope little stickers that I got right here, these are some of the designs that he came up with. The other designs, you can follow him on his Instagram. I'll let you plug that in real quick.
Plug yourself.
Oh yeah, at Joey Free IV. That's the IG. Thank you, I appreciate it. Joey Free IV, and the website's imaginaryvision.iv.com. I usually got that link in my bio, but right now it's the link to the GoFundMe for the orphanage in Uganda.
Facts. So, go peep that out. Go check that out.
DM me if you need anything.
Facts. And I'm DMing. You feel me?
Yeah, it's real.
Just another thing, probably just to wrap it up. So definitely make sure you go check his work out. Please. Hit him up. Hey, if you have, commissions, hit the man up. That's my face. That's his face. That's her face. You see how we all look alike? That means you can trust the man to provide you with some quality content. And you know what I like about the professionalism about this guy? You got me, right? A laid back brother. I'm chill. I'm like, man, take your time. I'm like, chill. I'm doing whatever you got to do. But he was persistent. He was like, hey, man, I know I said I was going to get it by this date. But what's it called? I just need another. And I was like, yo, bro, take as much time as you need. But he was like, oh, no. If I promise you a time, that's actually very important to me, something that I take really seriously in my business. So I admire that type of professionalism from an individual. So I have to definitely give you some kudos.
Thank you.
But you have a lot of youngins watching this right now. So just for the up-and-comers, this is some free game. I just want you to just pretty much run through how you were able to come up with your site, how you were able to get your studio, your business practices in terms of how you commission your art, just some things in case you have some people wondering how to take that first step to go to the next level, what they should do from someone who's done it. You feel me?
Absolutely. Thank you. So there's a lot of things. Basically, the first thing is you got to be persistent and know what it is that you love to do. You obviously want to do whatever it is that you love to do without ever expecting that you're going to get paid a whole lot of money for it. As long as you really enjoy what you're doing and you're grateful for what you have and you put in the time and you put in the effort and the energy, you're definitely going to go far and you're going to be satisfied with what you're able to produce. And that's kind of the goal for me, is to be satisfied at what I'm able to produce. In terms of a studio, it's definitely something that, I share a space with another buddy of mine. So before that, though, I was in a communal space with a lot of other artists. You have to get to a point where whatever work that you're doing things that are too big for you, just outgrow your home or your room and you need a bigger space. You need a studio space. There's communal spaces. There's this place called the Self-Made Designs down in Quincy. That was the first communal artist space I was ever a part of. They have great memberships where you could go in there. I think it's like $50 a month or something like that, and you have access to a giant studio space.
And they would just let you use it?
And yeah, you can go in there and use it between the times they're open. They're open pretty much all the time. Zach Acorn is the guy who runs that place, so you definitely want to hit him up. The Can of Corn, that's his handle, or the Self-Made Designs. It's a great place. Eventually, I kind of outgrew that place, and maybe not even outgrew, but just wanted more of my own space. For anyone who wants their own space, it's going to cost you some money. It's you got to pay for it. But when you get to that point and you have enough work and it's that important to you, then it'll be there for you. There's spaces that are around. You just got to look for them, and you'll find a great space. What was the other thing that you mentioned too?
Not just business practices in case people, or your site as well.
The website's really simple. I just went on Wix.com. You just got to pay for a domain. I think I pay I think all said and done, I think it's like a few $100 every couple of years, or for a year or two, maybe for a year or two. Mm-hmm. It's not that bad. It's really it's affordable, and it's easy, very user friendly. You can customize and create your own website yourself. I mean, I created mine. It's not amazing, but it has everything that you need. It's got my bio. It has all my art. The prices. You can check in and out online. You can buy sticker packs on there, and websites are great. It's not absolutely necessary. It's nice if you have an Instagram page that's full of your work and you can serve as your portfolio. That's good too. But you do want a website, I think. I think it's good to have a website nowadays. You just need a place to be online where people can find you. And I will recommend too, this is for any primarily more for a visual artist, but there's a fantastic book. It's called Art, Money, Success, and it's by Maria Brophy. I came across this book about a year ago, and it is literally like this. I listened to the audiobook, so I did it while I was driving. You can get the audiobook. It's real easy. She breaks down in that book, not every way, but a multitude of ways to earn a living from art. Not only does she break down a multitude of ways to earn a living from your art, she breaks down how much you should charge. She breaks down what the value of your work is. You really want to take into account, this is for any artist who is selling their work or even is too timid to sell their work. Don't be too timid to sell your work. You have to sell your work, and you have to sell it at a fair price. If something takes you 8 hours to create or 12 hours to create and you're selling it for $30 or $40, do the math. You're not saying that you're worth very much time. What you're doing, if you were to basically, she broke it down like this to really help me to get it. But if you were to earn a reasonable income off art, say like $50,000 a year, then that would break down to like $300 a day almost if you're working just Monday through Friday. So you would have to work you would have to make at least $300 each day just to make $50,000 a year. It's not like you're balling at $50,000 a year. You're just making a living. But once any artist gets into that type of mind state, all of a sudden everything that they've ever created has a much more tangible number to it. I know there's a lot of artists out there that will undersell the hell out of themselves. You know what I mean? I see it all the time. I used to do the same thing. I used to practically give my work away.
How do you gain that confidence, though? Because if I made a piece, I could be like, you know what? Like, I don't really sell that art, but now I feel like this piece, you know what? I'm going to sell it for $500. But how do I get that confidence to just say, yes, I'm going to sell this for this price, Well,
you know what it is? It's really, what it was for me is like, all right, well, if I say this is my career, if I say this is what I want to do, then the prices and the work, it has to be commensurate with that. Or I don't know if that's not the right word, but it has to basically, like, whatever I'm selling my work for, it has to equal this is my career, If it's something that you're just doing on the side and you're always afraid to say, if I'm an artist and I want to sell art, then your price will always kind of stay down there,
Okay.
So it's really all about, at what rate do you value your own time, and how do you value what you're putting into your work? If you only did like one piece every once in a while, then it's obviously not going to be as much of a big deal for you to put a significant price on it, because it's whatever, you just shit it out or whatever. But if you're serious about your craft, you're spending hours and hours on your craft, you're creating pieces, and you really want it to be something that you're going to earn from, then make it something you're going to earn from,
Okay.
And as long as, the biggest thing is, if you're confident in your price and in what you're selling, then whoever it is on the other side of that is going to feel that, resonate with it, and respect it. And if they don't, then it's just a reflection of how they treat themselves, And a lot of times too, like I had a buddy of mine who was going to do a big piece for somebody, and he blotted out the price, and the guy was like, oh, what do I get, a car with that too, or something like that? And obviously my buddy had to break down to him, well, bro, like, this is what you asked for. It's a giant piece. I'm going to have to put in X amount of hours creating it. The paint's going to cost X amount. So you got to think all these things. You know, what are your materials cost? What does your time cost? And then it's gonna be easier for you to come up with a number and to say it with confidence because you're like, dude, I'm working. You know?
Yeah. Okay. So, I like that.
Free game.
Yeah, it's free game. Because what do you think or not? Even though I'm not an artist, so to say, in that realm, everything that he just said, I was able to take something from it as well. So all of you guys can take it
even
and
if you're
apply
not
it to
an
whatever
artist,
practices.
like if you have a side hustle, apply what he just said to your side
If you're an
hustle.
entrepreneur
Take pride
in
your
general.
work. You feel me?
Exactly.
Exactly.
That book is Art, Money, Success by Maria Brophy. I really recommend it, even if you're not a visual artist.
I'll put that in the description. That's a fact. All right, words. Does anyone else have any questions? Joe, do you have any questions for us?
Yeah, I do got questions for you guys.
Okay, yeah, why not?
First of all,
Oh boy. So guilty.
First of all, what number episode are we on right now?
Oh, this is 103.
Okay.
103.
Facts. I'm gonna talk my shit. They turned me down. It's okay. This is episode 103.
No, that's what's up. What inspired you to do this? This could be a question for each one of you guys.
Yeah, well, he started,
it,
then I joined. I would say, what was it, like episode 24,
21.
Yeah, 21.
Episode 21 next month will be his 2-month anniversary.
2-year
anniversary.
anniversary.
2-year anniversary.
Yeah, so he can
start
explain
it
why
off,
he started. Yeah, explain that. And I'll jump in and add my piece and shit.
Sure. So yeah, I started the show. Official start date is February 2018. Started just me having a conversation with a friend, and I've said this story so many times, but I never mind saying it again. So I was just having this conversation with my friend, and we're so close. We have these thoughtful, honest conversations with each other all the time, no matter how uncomfortable or politically incorrect it might be. We just have these honest and thoughtful conversations with each other. And I think one night when in my living room while we were watching TV, after a conversation we had, I was like, yo, you know what, this would make a really dope thing for people to hear. I feel like these type of conversations, even though if I was to have this same exact conversation with somebody else, it might not have gone well because, you know, ego and shit like that. Sure. But the healthy conversation I was able to have with my friend at the time, I really thought it would be dope for other people to see what that sounds like too. And we were both smooth talkers. I was on a radio show when I was at college, and she was on the radio show with me, so we were just natural on the mic. So we started the show. Eventually it grew to a place where we pulled other people in. Before it was just us two talking on current topics, but then it got bigger to the point where we'd pull other people in. My friends would come join, sit down for conversations. We'd have musicians come on and just talk about things like that. So it started off just being a really small conversation, and it evolved into a bigger platform. Yeah. And then, like we said, Darnell joined around episode 21, even though he first guest starred on episode 6, I believe. So he's technically been with the podcast since we started. He just wasn't official until a couple episodes later.
No, he's capping. So I was on episode 6. I was on episode 6.
How am I capping?
I was on episode 6. It was received well. He brought me on
Received well.
It was received well.
Showcasing the mixtape.
I don't doubt it. I really don't doubt it. I don't remember everything that happened my first time. I got to run that episode back. But yeah, I definitely did plug my mixtape. But anyway, I remember I was on another episode after that, and then his first co-host had to leave because, you know, she had her own thing going on. And then he asked me, because we were living together at the same time. The last episodes I were on were received well, in my opinion. and then you know, it was only natural. It was only natural for, you know, him to come to me and just be like, yeah, you want to be on the podcast? And me, when he asked me that, I was honored. I was honored to be on the podcast, and I've just been enjoying myself ever since. And then it got to a point, I would say July? Yeah. Last July, where we just decided, we need a female voice on this show, because we're two males. Sometimes there are some topics that needs a female's voice, and who are we to, you know, input our opinion into that? So we're like, we need to bring someone on. So, you know, we started that search, and
he kept saying it. He was like, yeah, we're looking for a female co-host. I'm like, bro, just are you asking me? Just put me on. And then he was like, I'll talk about it with Dev. And I was like, okay. And then we came on, and people liked it. And then I was like, yeah, I'll join.
That's what's up.
And here
That's
we
what's
are,
up.
a year later. A year and some time.
Trinity.
You guys got a fantastic dynamic. I mean, I love like checking the snippets, and I think I've said this to Dev mad times, but the conversations are just mad real. It's mad raw, and like vulnerability, like I always see as like a superpower. I think it's a beautiful thing, and we need more of it. You know what I'm saying? And it's just great. You know, you guys got a great thing going here, so I appreciate that.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks.
I appreciate you. Facts.
And one more thing.
Yeah.
I want to ask one question for each of you. Do either of you guys have like any other like side hobby or something that we wouldn't know that you're up to that you're doing that's dope? Like I know Darnell's got the mixtape and shit. I want to hear.
I'd be capping
He's
about
giving you so much respect.
Yeah. That's the funniest thing, bro. Like, you really have him, like...
No, I'm just playing. I don't even know if that's really his thing.
No,
I
I really have one out, but that was from like 5 years ago.
Oh, okay.
I retired from the rap game.
Nah, fuck
But
that.
me,
Yo, what's
nah.
that shit? Yo, what's that called? Yo, Reno, what was it called? Ninth Chamber? Yo, I'm gonna plug my man shit in real quick.
Look at him. He's like,
Cause
what?
my dog can rap, you feel me? Cause my dog can rap.
Devin can
No,
low-key
I'll say
rap
I'm
too.
plugging Reno's tape if I gotta plug in Reno's tape, you feel me?
Nah, but side hustles at the moment, I don't really have anything. I just be focused on my personal health, to be honest. Like most of my free time, like either trying to work out, get my back fixed, stretch, play basketball. I just had surgery, so I mean I can only do so much. But I have been looking into, like starting my own like YouTube channel with this shoe restoration because I like cleaning. I enjoy that shit, and I like shoes as well.
Yeah.
So I feel like that'd be something that I could easily monetize as well as just put on YouTube. So that's what I'm thinking about doing. I don't know yet, but that's something.
That's what's up. That's cool.
For me, it's not really side hustle, more of like I dance. I've been dancing for since I was like 9 years old. I'm taking a pause now because like it's not as easy to just go up in the studio and just break out a choreo or try and just have a freelance of a choreo. But I dance. I'm a hair fanatic, so I braid hair from time to time.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Fact, she has a different hairstyle each episode. It's amazing.
Yeah, I do.
Fans keep track. It's amazing.
No, yeah, I do. I really like to braid hair.
She does this.
Like you're taking customers type of thing?
No, yeah.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Like fans keep track of her hair.
That's
No,
what's
yeah.
up.
Changes
Oh,
like
all right.
every
Yeah,
Okay.
it's really bad. But other than that, no, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Real quick.
Cool.
Can you braid my hair? Is this long
Oh
enough?
my gosh.
Yes, it is long enough, but it will
Twist. I
hurt.
want twists.
Yes.
Yeah, we gonna talk. Anyway, my fault.
Okay. All right.
My side hustle, besides my other job, stuff I can't announce yet. But yeah, there's stuff in the works. There's a lot of stuff in the work. I've been busy this quarantine, and I'm just busy in general. I have big plans to take everything. This is just the first step. So yeah, a lot of side hustles, but I can't share them yet. It's just something that y'all are gonna have to see. All right.
Fair enough.
Any more questions from anybody before we bounce?
No.
All right, let's step into our reality checks, okay? Joey, I ran down for you earlier what reality checks are to the show, but now that you're living into it, we'll start with Rich. We're just giving free
Get
game
right
to the
into it.
listeners, especially for this episode. I feel like this episode has just been big on entrepreneurship and just chasing your dreams and all that and just the business practices. So let's have our reality checks be based on that. You feel me? So yeah, go ahead, Rich. Start with that.
Okay, all right. So my reality check is basically focus on your personal wealth, essentially. Make sure you're not, spending money on stupid shit. Make sure you're saving and make sure you're investing in yourself, most importantly, because investing in yourself, you'll never regret that. You'll always be able to get that back. Like he said, if you have a side hustle, make sure you're monetizing that in the right way. Make sure you're properly pricing yourself. But like I said, focus on your personal wealth. That's all you got. That's my reality check.
I feel that.
All right. My reality check is to take a page out of Joey's book and just essentially keep reinventing yourself. Keep finding ways to make money, and not only that, explore different areas of yourself that you never really thought you would be into until you actually get into it. And I think the best way to do that is just to be open and branch out also to different avenues, not just what you know best, but what you could, become. Yes,
I like that.
thank you.
I like that.
I like that too. Reality check for me this week is taking an attitude of gratitude. Lately, I've been just kind of thinking, I really want to just stay thankful for everything that I have and like where I'm at. So gratitude and kind of like just keeping that in mind throughout the day, gratitude and vision. So I know everyone probably talks about vision or has heard about vision, but just keeping a vision for what I want in my life present, so for and reality check, I guess for everybody else too, just try to stay grateful and be thankful for what you can be thankful for and grateful for, because that helps. You could use that as an advantage, and then keep your vision strong of where it is that you want to be and what it is that you want out of life,
Word. And then for my reality check, we're all taking a page from Joey's book today. So the game I was able to get off of him today is, if I feel like I am worth something, set my price and don't change it. You feel me? So I'm going to pass that on to all of y'all. You feel me? I've been thinking of ways to turn this from a hobby into a business, and I'm only a quarter of the way there. But a lot of the topics that we had in this conversation helps. So do not sell yourself short. If you believe you are worth something, stand on that and don't back down. Don't let other people tell you that you're worth something else, because who are they? You feel me? So like I said, believe in yourself, and in knowing your worth and not like budging any of that, you carry a sense of confidence with that. And with that confidence, when you tell your people your price and you don't back down, they're going to take you seriously for your shit. And in that same tone, them taking you seriously and they're paying that price, they know they're going to get quality shit. And that all starts from not selling yourself short. So that is my reality check. You feel me? Beautiful, beautiful.
Talking
I love
shit.
that.
Go
Oh,
ahead.
yeah, I love that. All right, and that is the end of this episode. Joey Free, thank you so much for coming out. You feel
so
me?
much.
We appreciate you for coming through.
Thank you.
Week after week, people just tell me how much they love this piece, and I said I'm gonna bring the man who was responsible for it on this show, and we were able to do it. So I'm just happy when everything's able to work out. You feel me? We'll definitely keep in touch. Any future events that you got going on, definitely let us know. Because, hey, I want to pull up to an open mic. I'm not going to spit, but I'll sit in the crowd, you feel me? I'll sit in the crowd and just watch, you feel me? Because I love being in those type of vibes and those type of scenes. Apparently, you know what, your cousin or your aunt, your cousin, uncle, something
Serge.
like that. Y'all know people.
You know Sassion,
Yeah, facts.
Yes,
I want to pull up to one of those events, you feel me?
Okay.
Definitely got to come out there. All right. And with
They're a
that
little power
being
couple.
said,
they just got married.
yeah, I've heard him freestyle before. He's not bad.
Yeah, he's out here.
Not bad. Give him that. Yo, this is your shout out.
Shout out to Sassy.
This is your shout out. Facts. So with that being said, you've been listening to your boy DME.
Do that over.
You've been listening to your boy DME.
You've been listening to your boy Cozy Rich.
And it's your girl Imani.
And this is your boy Joey Free.
We love that. You feel me? You've been listening to the Urban Product. We will catch y'all next time.
Love. Hey. Don't take that.
Like that?
Love.
Bye, guys.
Take my shit.